Okay, so I'm going to model how to do the historical writing for the events for Patsy's life from the read aloud we did the other day. Okay. Before I do that, let me quickly explain the directions here. You're going to review prefixes and suffixes by playing the quizzes. Remember, prefixes come before the base word and suffixes come at the end. Okay. All right, here's the teacher model. Let me zoom in. Okay, this is about Sojourner Truth. And this is the timeline about her life. Okay, she was born in 1997 into slavery with the name Isabella Baumfree. 1815, she marries Thomas, a man also born into slavery. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, and then 1826, 1815, she has 5 children, Diana Thomas. In 1826, from 1815 to 1826, she had 5 children, Diana Thomas, Peter, Elizabeth, and Sophia. 1826, she and her daughter Sophia escaped to freedom. 1826, that same year, she finds out that her son Peter was illegally sold to another slaveholder. She stands up to the slaveholder in court and wins her son back, becoming one of the first African American women to win a case against a white man. 1829, she moves to New York City and takes a job as a housekeeper to earn money for her family. 1843, she changes her name to Sojourner Truth. 1844, Sojourner gives her first speech against slavery. 1850, her biography, The Narrative of Sojourner Truth, a Northern Slave, is published. 1851, she delivers her most famous speech, Ain't a Woman, at the Ohio Women's Rights Convention. From 1851 to 1853, she tours Ohio, giving talks on equal rights for African Americans and women. And in the 1860s, she helps recruit African American men to fight for the Union during the Civil War. So here's the paragraph that I came up with. Okay. And I started off with, and I want to use time order words to help me. So Isabella Baumfree was born into slavery around 1797. Since the birth dates of slaves were not allowed to be recorded, her exact birth date is unknown. In 1826, she escaped slavery with one of her children. A few years later, she moved to New York City. In 1843, she changed her name to Sojourner Truth. A year later, she gave her first speech against slavery. She spent the remainder of her life as an abolitionist, a person who speaks out against slavery. So this is the model you will use to help you. I used words like since to help me put it in order. I used the years. Here I used a few years later. Okay. And then I used a year later here. All right. And then to close it out, I said she spent the remainder of her life, okay, as an abolitionist there. Okay, so what you're going to do now, you're going to use this article about Patsy Takimoto Mink and how she made history, and you want to write a similar paragraph to the one I just modeled over here. Okay, let me zoom out for a minute. Okay, so you want to use the time order words here. Okay, you can use first, you can use second, third, you can use next, then, not long after, following, before. Okay, use those words when you're typing your paragraph. Okay, you want to use the times. I'm sorry, the dates. Okay, so when you look at this and you look at the dates to help you when you're writing. Okay, good luck with this. Okay, and use my model that I just modeled to help you. Okay, the other thing you'll need to be doing on here, okay, a lot of you did not do your habitat project. I've got somebody telling me one of Georgia habitats is a jungle. We don't have any jungles in Georgia. We have 5 geographical regions. You have the mountain region, you've got the coastal plain, you've got the swamp and marsh, you've got the Piedmont, and you've got the ocean. If you do the ocean, you're specifically talking about the Atlantic Ocean. So I've given everybody this article here to go back under the Habitat Project Day 2. I've put this article to help you. So if you took your notes, you would pick one of these to write about: the mountains, the Piedmont, coastal plains, marsh, swamp, or ocean. Okay. And in each habitat, it talks about the plants and animals that live there. If you're doing the Piedmont, it talks about the plants and animals that live there. Okay, if you're doing the coastal habitat, it talks about the plants and animals that live there. If you're doing the marsh swamp habitat, it talks about the plants and animals that live there. And finally, if you're doing the ocean habitat, specifically the Atlantic Ocean off Georgia's southeastern coast, then it's talking about the plants and animals that live there. Okay, I've already graded your habitat projects. Okay, and a lot of you did not do it. Okay, so if I gave you a 60, that means that's an F. It was not done. Okay, remember Sunday is the deadline to do the assignments. Okay, grades are going to be closed out very soon. We've got about 13 more days of this 9 weeks. All right, so I hope this information helps you, and I'm going to stop recording.